5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Malcolm, thank you for being here.
Yes, bless.
Thank you to the listeners for tuning in and joining us on this journey. Once again, another Saturday, another great day to fucking pod.
Another week, another opportunity.
And this week is going to be a special week, man. I've been looking forward to this interview for a while now.
It has been a while.
Wow.
We've talked about it. I didn't even mess up your intro, but we've talked about being on the show for a while. It's just life.
Yeah, life, yeah. And then we got it going.
At the right time.
Exactly.
We got you here early, though. To be honest, we got some people booked out till next May.
Really?
March.
March.
Mal had asked me, like, when you guys had first started, like, September, August.
Yeah,
early.
So I was like, I could do it in October.
You're probably one of the first people that we invited on the show.
Yeah, that makes me feel good.
Yeah, facts. I feel like we talked about you within the first couple of minutes of the first show.
Yes, because he had the shirt on.
Yeah, got the shirt on. Yeah,
I remember
so
what I said. I'm like, you and Stacks be grinding. That's exactly how I said it.
Right.
You was like, you getting paid for this? He's like, don't worry about it. Don't
worry about it.
Like I do.
And I'm like, we got to have Stacks on because I feel like him and Malcolm got it under the table type deal type stuff.
Something like that.
Something
I'm saying money talk.
Nothing works.
Yeah. Money talk.
But we got Stacks in the building. Stacks is probably one of the best trainers in the New York City area. Can we consider you in the New York City?
We're Long Island.
Is Long Island not part of New York City, no?
The city, no. We are a different entity.
But if you're from upstate or something, would someone consider a Long Island person a city person?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact.
From upstate, yeah.
So you're the best trainer in Long Island?
I would say so.
Okay.
Confidently, respectfully.
Respectfully.
I still got a lot to do, a lot to learn, a lot, I still got to develop in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm getting up there.
Okay. Much respect. How did you and Malcolm meet?
Let's see. How did we meet?
Football. Yeah.
Now is what, 3 years younger than me? 4 years younger than me?
4.
So he's 4 years younger. So when I was a senior, he was a freshman.
No.
No.
Then I am 4. You used to senior. I was in 8th grade.
He was 8th grade.
Well, like coaching, definitely was coaching.
Wait, we really connected during coaching.
Yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
27.
Word.
Yeah.
Bro, I thought you was our age.
I'm older.
Yeah.
So you never played
That's
high
a
school
good thing.
football with Stack?
No, I never played with
We played
Stack.
college against each other.
Yeah, played college against each other.
Oh, because you went to JUCO.
So I had a long journey in college football. I played 6 years.
Tell her. Okay.
So out of high school, graduated 2011,
mm-hmm.
and then I went to Nassau Community College. I didn't have a car. I took a train, took a bus. I had to grind to get there, so I redshirted. That's just off rip. Like, we're gonna redshirt you because you're a little small, whatever. But the commute there was the pain. So I'd wake up 4 or 5 o'clock, first train to Nassau, hop on the bus, walk to campus, did that, practice all day, and then same thing back home, repeat every day. So fast forward, spring comes, I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I can't be an effective athlete if I'm waking up and commuting for 3 hours just to get to practice. At that point, I'm already, shot. So I transferred to Hudson Valley the next year. That's 2012. Spent 2 seasons there. Then I got recruited by Stony Brook. Played there. Got a few injuries. I didn't get a medical red shirt. So I was like, all right, at this point, I only have 1 year left. What I'm going to do. So you have Nassau, Hudson Valley, that's 3 years. Stony Brook, 4. So I'm like, all right, I got 1 more year. Let's make the best of it. So, but at that same time, a lot of people weren't happy with the program. Transferred to Cortland. So that's my first year. That's 2015. So that's 5 years of playing football in college.
Yeah.
That same season, actually, first game we played you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm, you played that game, right?
That's the year.
That's the year you guys did it.
Sophomore year. That was our sophomore year.
2015?
Was it?
2015 was our freshman year. I think that's the first game you started.
Yeah,
and
you
you went
14.
nutty. Yeah, you went on.
We played you guys at your stadium?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you had like
so
188 yards, bro.
200 and something.
200.
And you lost, so it doesn't matter.
It don't matter. What you mean, though?
So anyway,
Okay.
that's 5.
It's no disrespect in losing to the champs. And you guys were the champs that year.
That year, yeah.
Okay.
But so in that season, preseason, I tore my meniscus. No surgery. I'm just going to brace it up. I'm going to get through it. It's my last year. Like, just grind it out. Halfway through the season, I dislocated my wrist. It goes misdiagnosed, though. They said, oh, it's just a sprain. So I played the game. I trained. I worked out. I practiced for the next week's game. And then they're like, yo, let's go get an x-ray just to make sure, rule out anything possible. I had a dislocation in my wrist. I had to go home and have surgery.
Wow.
So then I get a medical red shirt there. Came back another season. That was my 6th year.
Oh, okay. Because I was a little confused. I'm wondering, like, yo, I'm pretty sure I seen you play when we was at Utica Field.
Yeah.
We had Utica had the home game.
Yeah.
Okay. So you was there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was there for 2 semesters realistically. I was there that fall, and then I withdrew when I went home for surgery. And then I came back the following fall. And I personally did not like Cortland as a school. Like especially at that time in my life, I was older. I was 21, 22, maybe 20. I don't remember exactly. But everybody's like, "Oh, I want to go out. Oh, I want to do this." I'm saying, I'm just trying to play ball. Like, the school from coming from Stony Brook to going to Cortland, I feel like there's a drop off in academic level. So I was like, I don't even know why I'm here. So I wanted to actually transferring back to Stony Brook and finishing my
to finish your degree.
Yeah.
Just to key back. So before the cameras came on, we was talking. I asked you, do you feel like you maximize your career? Right.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like from the first time you left high school, you were focused. You know what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So I feel like you may have maximized what you could have done. Maybe you wasn't the player that you wanted to be, but injuries derailed that.
Yes, but I also feel like I made a lot of decisions ego driven. I could have went to a D2 school out of JUCO. I had plenty of offers to go to a D2 or very, very good D3 school and maximize and got a lot of playing time. But at that time in my life, I was so focused on just like, I gotta go D1. I told everybody I was gonna go D1. I'm gonna go D1. And schools that were interested. So one school was William and Mary. The school I really wanted to go to was JMU, and then Stony Brook. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I had a bunch of D2s and a bunch of like top 5 D3s. Like, yo, you're gonna start off rip. But I was like, no.
Usually they be lying. The coaches be lying.
They do, and I know that's part of recruiting. But I also felt confident because I'm coming from 2 great seasons at Hudson Valley, captain of the team, top 5 tacklers. Like I had we were looking at game plans. Schools were legit on their game plan, like, yo, don't run to his side because he's gonna do his job. Mm-hmm. So a lot of games I had to legit switch either from outside to inside, and it was just kind of like on the fly. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I feel like I didn't maximize because I was so focused on going to Division I that I didn't respect the other levels. You think about how many great athletes came from D2 and D3 schools that are in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. But even bigger than that, being in a position that I am in now as an educator and entrepreneur, I still have to go back to school to take more classes because I transferred around so much. I lost credits. I had to retake classes. Took a lot of time off. I took a year off from my wrist. Took a year off at the JUCO just for recruiting purposes. So I feel like had I just said, or if I had a mentor in my ear that, hey, look, let's find a school that's gonna fit you academically as well as athletically, and get your degree and maximize your potential. When I got Stony Brook, I was just another pawn. It was like, all right, yeah, we cool. You got JUCO. You're from JUCO, but I came as a linebacker. They moved me to running fullback. Why? They had a dude from Oregon who just got in trouble, and then he needed school to play. And they were like, yeah, you over there now. Yeah. So now I'm at a school, a Division I school. I'm not even happy because I'm not playing the position I wanted to play. I wanted to play linebacker. That's what I did my whole college career.
Even if you was a backup, but you was playing the position you wanted to play, you'd have been happy.
Right.
It's unfortunate, right? This is something me and Malcolm talked about a bunch of times. When you're in high school and you're in that mindset and you have the chance, like people have put it in your head, hey, you're good enough to go D1.
Right.
Fuck everything else. Fuck academics. Fuck my mom's money. I'm going to try to go D1.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of kids derail their careers just by doing that. You know what I mean?
You know, that also plays into the part of we don't have enough mentors in our community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What if we are taught to, go to school, forget your education. Now, I think with everything going on, we're pushing education a lot more for the community. But it's really like, all right, hey, look, you play football, Your mom's struggling, your dad's struggling, your family's, it's not great, but you're really good at football or basketball, whatever sport. Keep that ball in your hand. That's going to get you out the hood. Yeah. Where it should be like, yo, keep the book in your hand and let your athleticism just propel you to pay your school for free.
And that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like I always shout out Todd Billy. I always listen to his podcast, but Todd Billy, he says there's more millionaires than there is anyone in the entertainment world, as in like sports and stuff like that. Well, you have a greater chance. Right. Sorry, you have a greater chance of succeeding, having your own business than trying to go to the league. It's a very small percentage.
So that's how I kind of came to grips with retiring. I like to call it retiring. So it was that fall semester, my last season, and one of my best friends who works for JP Morgan and Chase. Like he knew from high school, like I want to be an investment banker. I want to retire by this age. Went to school for it, and he was by the time I was still playing football, like, I don't know how I'm making rent and putting food on the table. He was already working in the banks. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking to him. I value everything he says, and he's like, yo, Stacks, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You'll make more money in your career with less injury, less heartache, less pain than you will with football. He says, on average, you guys know 3 years for an NFL player. Yeah. And that's if you're at a top D1 school. If you're coming from a smaller school, you had maybe a tryout.
Yeah.
If that, maybe a shot at the
bowl
CFL,
game.
right? You know what I'm saying? That's really all you had.
With no coaches there, no NFL coaches there.
Exactly. So when he said that, I kind of started clicking. I was like, all right, hey, look, I'm 20-something years old. I already had torn meniscus, sprained MCL, 3 surgeries on my wrist. I'm already being passed up on. Then I want to play defense. So I played mostly linebacker, some safety. But, all right, so now I'm a heavy, short linebacker. There are not many 5'10" linebackers in the NFL.
You're only 5'10"?
Yeah.
You don't look that short. I feel like I told you that before.
Yeah, I think that's
you look tall, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You and Malcolm damn near the same height.
It's
just not a great thing for you.
That's a compliment for me. I'm about to say, shit, I'll take that. But you saying that with your size and everything, that happened to one of our good buddies. We're going to have him on the show real soon. Mm-hmm. But he went to a bowl game, and he was the same thing, 5'10" linebacker. And at the bowl game, he had to go play DB. And they were telling him, after the game, they said, yo, you should have just been strict and been hard-headed and said, I'm playing linebacker. Right. Because now you playing in a whole different area where you never practice.
Those skills are way different than linebacker skills.
Completely different.
I'm very just downhill, get business done. With DB, you have to finesse. Yeah. You have to flip those hips. You have to run all game. Linebacker, you're not supposed to take any plays off, but you could get away with like, I shot the wrong gap. My bad, bro. Like, DB, you get exposed. That's 6.
That's 6.
But I feel like it's a weird catch-22, right? Because so you guys are both football coaches. When you're in high school, let's say you're decent, like you guys were. You guys were starters. You guys were some of the best guys.
Just decent, huh?
But I'm saying you guys weren't like, you know what I mean? 5-star
Derrick Henry, 400 yards.
You guys still believe somewhere in the back of your mind you can't go to the league. Right?
You said you can or you can't?
You can.
Oh, yes.
Can, right?
Yeah.
You can go to the league. And as a football player, you kind of have to develop that mindset because that's the type of cockiness, that's the type of confidence you need to have to be successful.
Right.
So as a football coach, you have a kid, you see a kid in your situation. Mm-hmm. You might have a chance to go D1, but you know it might not work out good. Right. Are you going to tell him, hey, you should just go to D3. Football is not your route. Because you really can't tell him that.
So what I have a different approach. Having my journey and things I've done, I tell kids, look, I said, yo, this is your goal. I said, if I was a coach from Albany, USC, or any D1 school, do you think you'll be able to compete? Do you watch their highlight tapes? Do you watch their workouts? Are you doing the things that they're doing? No. Or maybe yes, some no. I'm like, all right. If you don't feel like you could keep up with that, then you're not ready yet. And I never say, hey, look, you're not a D1 player. I say you should strive for that, but don't sell yourself short on the D2 and D3s. Coming from experience, when I went to Cortland, I came like, yo, I'm playing. I'm the guy. I got there. I was like, wait, hold up, time out. You're pretty strong, man. What's going on? And I started talking to these guys like, yo, where'd you play? I played in Jersey. I had offers for this school. Oh, word? I'm from this part of Pennsylvania. Yeah, why'd you come here? Oh, I was gonna go to this D1 school, but my grades brought me here. So when I talk to my kids now, I say, yo, there's D1 talent everywhere.
Everywhere. And there's late bloomers too. You have guys who barely played in high school.
Right.
And guys that fucking shoot up. You know what I mean?
So
shout out to Eli Bell. That's what I was thinking. E came in, barely really was anything in high school, and he was one of the best dudes in the entire conference. In high school go to college and be duds. And be trash.
So when I told my guys, I said, listen, the goal is always have the goal is here. But don't ever say yourself, don't ever like rule out anything because you never know what that may get you. You may go to a D2, be All-American, and have an opportunity to go to NFL. You didn't foresee that happening.
Yes.
You know, our journeys are never what we want. It's always kind of
what God wants. Say
exactly.
Let's get Malcolm pissed off. Let's get Malcolm pissed off.
But listen.
He hates religion.
No. I don't hate religion. I got respect for religion. Shout out to Tiago for that. But you talking about that, one thing my dad always said that made the whole process of college football easy and understanding what's going on to basically not be a bust when you go to the next level is, and this is for all the young guys out there that's going to listen to this episode, you got to have this mindset when you go play at the next level. Like you said, there's D1 talent anywhere at the college level. You know, nationwide, JUCO, Division I, Division II, Division III. And my dad always told me, he goes, this is even when I was in high school, we would watch a college football game. He says, yo, all these guys everyone that's playing right now, any college level, all they are is it's all-star high school team.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
When they get to the NFL, that's an all-star college team.
Right.
So if you look at it like, okay, this is not a college, this is not just college football, this is just an all-star high school team, ask yourself if you can compete with all-star high school teams, because everyone on that team, no matter if you, anywhere, any division you play, the gentlemen's have awards, all state.
Everybody.
You understand?
Everybody did. Every team had that banner, that trophy, that All-American.
Exactly.
And like one of the things too that I feel like to answer your question again about do I feel like I maximized my potential. I made a lot of decisions ego-driven, and I also made a lot of decisions on my own. Not that my parents and my family wasn't involved, but my parents. I'm the last of four, and my oldest sibling is 20 years older than me. So my niece and nephew, we went to high school together. They're like, that's your brother. That's my niece. I'm actually her uncle. You know what I'm saying? So for me, there was nobody in my corner saying, hey, look, I think you should go this direction. So I'm in here like, all right, I have all these schools. I'm going to go here. That's a cool thing to do. I'm whatever, But even when I graduated high school, having that dream of going to a D1 school and playing at the highest level, my coach said, you're a D3 player. And I was like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Word. And I proved him wrong. I made it to a D1 level, but I actually went back going to a D3 school. And it wasn't because I couldn't play at D1 level. At that time, I was doing it for time purposes. But I'm sitting here, I'm checking. I'm like, yo, I probably could have just met in the middle. Like, all right, I'm a D2 player. Yeah. Balled out, do what I needed to do, and then let the chips fall where they may.
So, quick question, though. What do you think is more rewarding you would think? Would you be more satisfied of just playing Division I full ride, playing at Division I level, but not actually playing on the field? Or barely playing, not maximizing your potential? Or going to a smaller school and basically be seen as the top guy, having all these rewards?
I would rather go to a small school and get all the rewards. Because at the end of the day, like we said, there's talent everywhere. So you could be the small guy at the D3 school to be the best. Like you were the best. And I'm sure you could take that same ability, took it to a D2 or a D1 level. Yeah. There's guys in the D1, D2 level that's your side that has the same stats as you. Listen to the coaches always say in high school, go where you see the field. Go where you'll see the field. Go where you will play. And being in a position where I went someplace off of this like D1 level, I did not play. So when I went to the lower levels, I was like, yo, I got a lot of playing time. I had a lot of time. And I feel like the kids in that community looked up to me more than just me being a guy in Stony. Like when you came out of Stony Brook, you shake hands and you sign the little posters. That's cool. But when I was at Cortland and the kids were really sitting here, they're like, you walk in the community, hey, Stacks, what's up, man?
You felt like the guy. You felt like the guy.
So I feel like you're going to get more satisfaction. I think it's going to make you a better person because you could do more. You could use your platform more than just being like, all right, yeah, I'm on the D1 team. Yeah. I have a jersey.
That was a trick question by Malcolm, though. Because wherever I go, I'm playing. Okay. I don't care if I'm Alabama. Where Saban want to throw me at linebacker, fullback? I'm doing it all.
You playing? You like you knew
exactly.
But the reason I actually asked you, did you maximize your potential? So thank you, Stacks, for So I realized we had the interview, so I do a little snooping around, and I went on your Instagram, and I see that you posted the Atomic Habits book. I'm like, I'm just gonna read it just to connect with Stacks in a type of way, and it happened being one of the best decisions of my life. Speaking of.
I'm a slow reader.
Okay.
So you saying like, yo, we're gonna talk about it? I actually read like to like the last. I'm not done yet, but I'm at the last chapter.
Okay, oh, word?
Yeah, I was like,
that ass.
Okay,
so you see you on IG, y'all.
I'm gonna give up the secret right here. I just do audiobook.
I can't do that.
You can't do audiobook?
No. So
the thing with audiobook is you have to listen to it more than once.
Yeah.
So the first time you listen to it, you kind of just pick up on little things you want to key on, jot it down, and the second time you pick it apart. That's how I do it personally.
See, I like books because I like to write notes.
Yeah.
So I could take the book, I could underline it. I'll do that a lot quicker than me listening to it. Like, oh, let me go write this down. Because if I'm listening to something, I'm either walking, running, doing something where it's like it's going to take me another 27 seconds to do whatever amount of time, or take me my mind off of whatever I'm doing.
But I'm a taxi driver, so I'm just in the car all day doing that.
Oh, now you a taxi driver?
I'm a Lyft driver. Lyft driver, taxi driver. Niggas say Uber.
You know the TLC?
Nah. That's why I work in Long Island. You don't need your TLCs.
That's right. I did live for a hot minute.
Oh, word? Mm-hmm. It's good money, right?
Mm-hmm. Yo, the only thing I used to hate, I get a ride out way out where me and Malcolm live. Yeah. All the way out here. Airport.
You don't like that?
I mean, I love the financial.
That's the bread.
But I was waking up at 4 o'clock because I was getting all the professionals or the air flights. I'll catch one here, catch one back. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to do some local trips. Then it's like, go all the way back to Queens. I'm like, come on.
But now, I don't even get my mind into that state because anything could happen. Like, when I was living in Albany, I woke up. I came from work at the hospital at like 7. Took a nap. Came out at like 12 a.m. because Friday night shit is jumping. First trip, I get into the car, 3.5 hours. A ride to
45 plus.
Huh?
That 45 plus. That's what it says on the app, right?
No, so apparently when you decline enough rides, they don't tell you that. So I didn't. I thought it could have been a 3-minute ride to me, but it was like 3.5 hours. What state did I tell you she took me to? It wasn't PA.
It wasn't PA?
PA was the guy a few weeks back.
The Jersey then?
No, it wasn't Jersey.
I canceled rides.
It was Connecticut on one of them niggas.
It's been one time I was out in Long Island. It said 45-minute plus. All right, whatever, I'll take it. It's probably going to the airport. I get there, so I would do say your address is right here. I'd be in proximity where I could say I'm arrived
and look it up.
See where I'm going. This thing took me almost to Buffalo. And I was like, cancel. So the lady walked into the car, and she's like, oh, you my Uber or my Lyft? I was like, nah. She was like, it said this is your car. I was like, yeah, it just got canceled.
Buffalo. Nah, I'd rather go to a different state. Buffalo is like 9 hours, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's bugging.
And then the crazy part is you can't get no rides coming back. I mean, you can catch a ride from Buffalo back to
Long Island. In New York, you can.
But you're not going to. You're
not going to
Buffalo back to Long Island.
Yeah, come on, bro.
You're going to get stuck in Buffalo.
A 9-hour ride, that's bread, though. I'm thinking that's like $400.
I had like $10 out of quarter tank of gas. I wasn't making it.
Oh, no, you wasn't making it.
I wasn't making it.
But back to the book. So, and the original question was, did you maximize your potential? Mm-hmm. And the guy starts off the book by saying he had this crazy brain injury, and he was a baseball player.
Yep.
He came back his senior year. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with the book. Came back his senior year and was trash. But he went to D3 school, and he was a beast. He's basically the best player on his team. And he was like, I never went to the MLB, but I probably feel just as good as one of those guys because I maximize my potential.
Right. So it's a double-sided question because if you ask me in terms of my playing ability, I did not maximize. Mm-hmm. But in terms of me being a coach and a trainer and a teacher, now I maximize the hell out of it because now I could teach from my experience.
Yes.
I did this, so you could do this route now, and I never give straightforward, like, do this. I try to make an open-ended answer where it's like, look, I'm going to give you both sides of the spectrum. If you go this route, it's probably what you'll see. Mm-hmm. If you go this route, you're probably what you'll see. But I can speak from both through experience. So in that regard, yeah, I maximized because it taught me how to train, taught me how to be a better leader, how to handle different adversities. But in terms of playing, I think I could have did way more.
So for me, it's the same thing. So for me, I didn't play football till senior year of high school. Played 1 year of high school football, ended up getting invited to the Bama game, and then I went to Utica. I really didn't have a lot of confidence on the player I would be, but to me, I became as good a player as I was going to be. Unfortunately, I got kicked off the team because I was being a bad person, but up to that point, I feel like I maximized what I did. Now, as you said, the double-edged sword, I also feel like, damn, you fucked up, got kicked off the team when you could have had your 2 best years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And got a ring.
And got a fucking ring.
We got rings. We got rings on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, from Longwood?
Nah, from college.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. But yeah, you said that double-edged sword, but... Yeah. That stood out to me. Maximize your potential in everything. Right. And everything.
And that's why I go so hard. I wake up so early because I'm trying to maximize potential in all areas of life now.
What do you like about that book, Atomic Habits? What stands out to you?
It's just consistency. So it's things that we already know, things that especially as athletes, you've been taught these principles. It's nothing new, but it's how it's worded. And like simple things. So like one thing, especially being a trainer and a coach now, people, I want to work out, but it's too early. Or I never have time. So it's like, all right. Set yourself up. You break the bad habits by creating good habits, and it's a process. So
yes.
One of the things, one chapter, I don't remember what chapter it was talking about a lady. She worked in the city, but her way of making sure she went to work or what I think it was the gym. I don't remember.
The gym. She
took the cab every day, but she'd walk to the cab. Like she knew 5 o'clock, I'm walking to the cab. I'm hailing this cab. I'm going to work. After work, I'm doing X, Y, Z. It was like a routine for her. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it kind of just puts things in perspective. And when you work with so many different people, I could talk to you as an athlete, as a football player, and you're like, got it. Yeah. I could talk to you as a civilian. I shouldn't say civilian. As a NARP, right?
There you go. Better terms.
I was a NARP for a while.
Right? Shout out to the NARPs. I had to speak to you in a different language because now you may not understand that rough and tough coach aspect of it, but you may be able to say, hey, let's have a conversation, right? So you want to lose 20 pounds. Let's make small decisions, right? Let's not eat fast food anymore. Let's drink a gallon of water a day and eat an apple a day. I'm just throwing random things out. All right, I could do that for a week. Do that for a week. Week turns into a month. All right, we did that for this long. All right, now let's start walking to work instead of, taking a cab. All right, now I'm walking. Mm-hmm. So you start to change who you are.
Yes.
And one thing in the book that I learned is you define who you want to be, right? So if you want to be an athlete, you call yourself an athlete. Even if you don't feel like you're really an athlete right now, I'm an athlete.
Talked about this on the podcast last week. Be who you are before you become that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you say, I want to work out. You're never going to work out because it's something you want to do. It's not necessarily you need to do. But if you say, I'm an athlete.
I'm an athlete. I'm a fit motherfucker. Right. You 350 pounds, but I'm a fit motherfucker. Right.
Yeah. Like that. So what do you have to do?
And that goes for anything in life. I'm a good husband. I'm a good son. I'm whatever it is.
You want to be the best at whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
You want to speak that into existence. I never really understood that. I used to always say speaking to existence, and you hear it and you understand it.
Yeah.
But until you're in a position where you have to do it, it's like, oh no, I got to do this. You know what I mean?
Well, that's interesting, right? Because I've been around people who are trying to get better at certain things, and we got into the discussion of willpower on the last episode because it takes a lot of willpower to do certain stuff. Mm-hmm. I was saying for a guy like you, probably takes 0 willpower to get up and go out and work out in the morning because it's a habit, right? Yeah. The habit is just what you do.
Right.
It's hard for certain people, but I see a lot of people are defeated before they even start the task because of, oh, I want to do this, but I wish I could do it. Like, oh my, I just wish I could work out every day.
Right.
And right there, you're defeated.
Right.
Because the verbiage with yourself is incorrect.
Right. So one of your questions I saw you had for me was, why do you like Nike so much? Because of that exactly. There's so many times people are like, oh, I want to be like you. I wish I could wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I wish I could work a full-time job. I wish I could do this. And what's Nike's mantra? Just do it. That's what people all the time say. If you want to do it, just do it. Ain't nothing to it.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that's in 50 Cent book. 50 Cent. Book yes, very good book.
Yo, you know what's crazy? You put my mom onto that book, and she be quoting it to me.
Yeah, we were driving back home.
Like, yo, leave me alone.
She was trying to go to Nick. She was trying to go to sleep, and she couldn't even go to sleep. She's like, yo, who is this? I'm like, this is 50 book, and like she
always talking about that book.
That book got me right.
Gems.
It got me right.
Gems. And going off of that book, so 50 Cent met with Jamie Foxx and his team. They were just chilling. Mm-hmm. And 50 Cent tell Jamie Foxx he's doing something. I believe it was for Power. And Jamie Foxx was like, yo, y'all see this? 50 always doing something. He just do shit.
Right.
And that just resurrect me. Yo, just do it.
Right.
Stop thinking about all the extra BS of stopping you to do it and just try it.
Right.
Because like you said, you got to break those little bad habits. Mm-hmm. And to break those little bad habits, you have to try something.
Right.
And to try something, try to adjust it to your liking. Try to have fun with it, whatever you do. You know, like it won't be perfect. You won't get a turnaround. God forbid someone wants to diet.
Right.
They go eat a salad. They're not going to have a turnaround, have a 6-pack tomorrow. Right. But you just made little progress, and that's all that matters. But like you said, just do shit.
Right.
Just try it and do it.
Yep.
There's a lot of different ways I want to pivot off of this, but I'm going to bring this one out. Number one, you should study Nike. You was telling me how you was studying Gymshark. The story of Nike and how he do that, I feel like it's a very replicable story. Yeah, I mean, Phil Knight and how he did everything. What was I going to say? Are you familiar with David Goggins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay hard.
Stay hard.
Exactly. Just like that.
Exactly.
Just like that.
Yeah. Where's that balance for you? So in Atomic Habits, it basically says, ease yourself into things and make it easy for yourself. Mm-hmm. And we know David Goggins is the complete opposite. Get hard, motherfucker. Just do it.
Right.
Go balls to the wall, off rip. Right. Where's the balance in between that?
So I do a lot. So obviously I work out in the morning. I'm a teacher in the day, and I'm coaching at night.
Okay.
So that balance for me is tough to weigh because in one area of fitness, I am just do it, stay hard, go after it. But in the areas where I'm interested but not fully interested to like the same level of fitness, I'm kind of like easing my way into it. So I have to complete my master's. I'm in the master's program right now.
Okay.
Congrats,
my brother. That's big.
Congrats.
So
you only have successful young black men on this show. Let's
of course.
go.
Come on.
And E.
Come on.
So in that regard, I'm chipping away.
Okay.
All right, I take a class here. I take a class here. I take a class here. With fitness, I'm all the way in. I'm studying. All right, how can I do this? What's the next process in this? How do I build? And da-da-da. With education, I'm kind of like, I gotta ease myself into this. Only because I know it's an area that I'm not that I'm not good at it, not that I'm not smart. It's an area that I just doesn't.
It requires a lot of willpower, so you're trying to build those habits to...
So in that regard, I need the willpower to kind of build up to it. And it's interesting that I do truly enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I also truly enjoy the working out and that whole entrepreneurial side of it.
So and this is actually a great point. So the balance is kind of go hard in what you're already comfortable doing and make sure that's where you develop the go mentality. Right. And then the things that you're kind of struggling in, ease yourself into it so you don't burn yourself out, kind of.
So I also have a theme I like to use when coaching is get comfortable being uncomfortable. And a reason why I read these books, Atomic Habits, 50 Cent's book, is because in that area I'm uncomfortable, but I don't want to be comfortable in it. I want the end result, but I don't want to enjoy that process. If you said right now, don't work out for 2 months and then get fat and then work off, I'd be like, sign me up.
You would do that?
No, but
why don't you? I think
trying to paint a picture.
Back in the day, I think someone did that. This fitness guy gained a bunch of weight.
Yeah,
I think it's documented on YouTube.
Yeah. I don't remember the guy's name, but I know about that.
That would make you stand out from the rest of the trainers?
That's just too much.
I think I stand out already.
Oof. Big back talk. Back talk.
You know what I'm saying? And what I do and how I portray it, I can tell a lot of my clients, I said, I'm not going to give you a cookie cutter workout. In the industry, there are those trainers, and it's nothing against them, where they say, all right, hey, Malcolm, we're going to do legs today. We're going to do squat, talk for about 5-10 minutes, do lunges, 5-10 minutes go by, hamstring curls, another 5-10 minutes go by. All right, let's go for a little walk or a little treadmill. All right, buddy, you're done.
No, there's no cap in his rap right now.
You know what I mean?
No, there's no cap, but...
No, seriously, though, like the people he trained, I feel bad for them, bro. I be like, when it tells Stacks, I'm like, yo, bro, you need to chill out. You wildin'. But like that's just how you gotta be sometimes to them, so they can break that barrier.
I'm gonna do it or I'm not gonna do it. I tell everybody who comes to me, and I've lost clients and I've gained clients. I have clients that I've trained with for almost 2 years now, with this same mantra. And actually, somebody I look up to a lot is Just Boss, Just Train. He has the same mantra. And what's his name? I can't think of his name. Same mantra is that we're not gonna hold your hand. You came for me for a reason. We're gonna reach this goal. We're gonna get to whatever it is. You're not supposed to like me for an hour.
Yep.
You're not supposed to like me for this hour. My goal is to break you. But in that process, you're going to become a better person. You're going to reach your goals. You're going to learn something new about yourself that you didn't know before. So that's that get comfortable being uncomfortable mindset. But going back to your question before, in the education world, I have to get to that point. So I read these books that change my mindset. Fitness, I could do that. That's fine. But I have to kind of recoach myself and retrain myself, because I need that for the other areas of my life that I'm focusing on.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, and to me it's not arrogant, but I've heard people say it like, and I know a lot of people think this way with fitness guys like yourself. You guys definitely give off the aura of perfection. Like, you know what I mean? We are going hard in life. We wake up early in the morning. We do. And it's kind of a subliminal shot to people who are sleeping till 10 in the morning and eating Cheetos all day, right? But that's just one sector of life, fitness. Do you feel like there's parts of your life where you suck at, where you are essentially that 300-pound person that doesn't work out at all? Like places in your life that you need to form good habits in?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I never really analyzed it in that regard. If you ask me off the cuff, I'm gonna say, I think I'm good in pretty much every area. I may lack in some areas, but I think for the most part, I'm good. I think my weakest part right now is just pursuing my education. Okay. Just because not that I don't enjoy, like I said, it's just new, it's something I'm uncomfortable with. But outside of that, I think I'm good everywhere. And I think my fitness has propelled me to have that. Because once I have that, my energy's high. I'm focused, I'm locked in. So once I have that done, it's all right, cool. I come home, I'll help with dinner. I help, obviously I have my daughter with me all the time. Like it's because I got that mental peace, that mental clarity. That is what it is for me. I could do everything else I need to.
Yeah, you talking about that. A big thing on our podcast is we have a lot of people that are into health. Our question is like, is it health over wealth? And now if you focus more on the educational part, you obviously make more money, because you get stuff done, and that's what you need in that field. You need the educational part, but obviously health is like very important to you. And I feel the same way. And I feel some people, they just get so stuck. But I feel like this is just our mindset and how we live. Also because of football, that people get so stuck on the wealth part of sticking to things. Yes, that's fine, but they never take care of themselves. And I feel like that's just a bad thing when you're focused on getting better financially and getting out the situation you can, but personally, internally, I feel like health is 10 times more important than you trying to obtain that type of wealth that you want to gain from that certain field, because health makes you, like you said, you have energy when you work out, and that takes time to wake up in the morning, work out, record it, post it. That takes me time on a day where you could just be studying. You understand what I'm saying? But you're not, and you're building that health. But me personally, I feel like that is just 10 times more important.
Let me play a little bit of a devil advocate on that take that Malcolm had, because that's something I agree with you 1,000%. It's health over wealth. Take care of your health first. However, there are a lot of people, for example, I'm not going to say any names, but I know there are people who don't take care of their health at all, but they were a single mom and they went to school. They got 2-3 degrees. Now they're making $200,000-$300,000 a year. And that in itself is a sort of hard work that even the most healthiest person and someone like Sax per se couldn't achieve that level, or it wouldn't be easy for you to get that way.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring that up to say that yes, take care of your body first, and health is wealth.
Yeah.
But I do understand people who don't understand what we understand about fitness. Yeah. Could be like, hey man, I'm taking care of my family.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. But that's a small. But I'm not talking about that percentage. You understand? No, so I'm talking about like people our age that are. Yeah, that's right.
Represent everybody.
No, I'm not representing everyone. I want to represent the people that.
That's why I said I'm going to play devil advocate for those people.
Okay, but look, I have respect for that action. But what I'm saying is, let's talk about people our age. That deal with that situation, and or a little older. You're like, yo. You just not really there mentally because you're not there and you're not helping yourself. That's why I can't say that now. But you're talking about one particular person. I could talk about a handful of people I'm speaking about right now. You understand?
You know how many people who use health or fitness as a segue to what you're talking about too, though?
It is.
So a lot of people, that is their vice. They help them get there.
And that's why I'm even more astonished by these motherfuckers who could sit in front of a screen and study all day and take care of shit and the calendar is perfect and they don't work out.
Right.
Me, when I don't work out, my life is in shit.
But you gotta realize there's different levels of fitness. So I go super hard. That's because I like that. I played sports my whole life. I've been in those environments where if you're not sweating, you didn't work out.
Right.
But for some people, a walk is a form of exercise. For some people, stretching is a form of exercise. That's yoga right there. So,
shout out to my mom. She loves walking.
Right. So think about it. The person who may be 300 plus pounds, making 200 grand, and has all these doctorates, they go for a walk every day. That's still, they still have a form of fitness. It's just not your or me and Malcolm's view of going super hard. You know what I mean? But for them, a walk is plenty enough for me. My blood pressure is good. I don't have any cholesterol. I don't eat terrible. But you gotta realize too, some people also have underlying health issues. Yes. Hashimoto's, thyroid issues, cancer, stuff like that. So you can't always judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? That person may want to do the stuff me and Malcolm are doing. And they can't. And they just physically can't do it.
So if you guys can't tell, Stacks is a trainer. That's what he does. Where do you stand on the multi-hyphenated trainers? So for example, trainer, life coach, yoga instructor, dietitian.
I don't think you have to label it that way. Like I just say fitness coach, but I do all those things anyway. When you're a trainer and a coach, even Malcolm could attest as a coach in football with me. You build a bond with your athletes and your clients, right? Okay. So we'll work out and you'll be like, yo, what's wrong, man? You don't look like yourself. Oh, me and my girl going through it. Oh, I have a test on Friday. And we start talking through it. All right, hey, man, let's take a step back. What's going on? How can we move forward and change your attitude or, make it better? So right there, yes, I'm a trainer, coach, but now I'm your life coach. But I don't have to advertise that. Yeah. I also don't want to sit behind a table and talk like social worker. Let the social workers do that. But if we're working out, I'll be your life coach in that moment. In that, as a trainer and a coach, you have to know, you don't have to know through and through about nutrition, but you have to know enough. Right? So then at that point, now I'm talking about diet. You know what I'm saying? So you do all those things.
Well, I'm talking about to the point where you are proficient in all those areas as proficiently as you are a trainer. Mm-hmm. So, dieting with the back of your hand.
Right.
You set up 1 or 2 meetings per week with these people.
Right.
Okay, what's going on in your life?
Right.
What how can we work on your eating disorder?
Right. But that comes with time too, though.
Hell yeah.
But is that something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I also want to be in a position, I didn't mean to cut you off, I want to be able to focus on the fitness aspect of it. One day, my ultimate goal is to have a facility. But I want to be, all right, I focus on the fitness aspect. And then if you personally ask me for what I do for diet, all right, yeah, I'm going to tell you. But we have somebody for diet who's, if you didn't know, if you didn't see a face, you thought you're talking to me. You know what I mean? That's where I ultimately want to be.
Okay.
Because it is a lot, especially when you have your hands in a lot of different things. Yeah. They say, all right, I'm going to coach you, and then we want to set up a FaceTime meeting, talk about your diet, and we'll have another meeting on Wednesday to talk about this. That's 3 hours that you're losing on whether it's your other career, another endeavor. So you can spread yourself thin, and you can have your hands in a lot of pots, but you also want to find your niche. So my thing is the physical aspect of it, and I will touch on other areas, but my ultimate goal is that, all right, I'm the physical guy, Malcolm, you're the nutritional guy, and you're the life coach guy.
That's a dope way to put it. And the only reason I bring that up, because you think about it, right? You train a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say the average person, we train 5 hours per week. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. 5, 6, 7 hours per week. Mm-hmm. That is such a small period of time during the week.
Yeah.
You can work out 5 hours a week, bro, and see no results because everything in your life is fucked up because you don't have the motivation. So when you come to the workout, you're kind of like slugging around. Then after 2 weeks, you're not working out anymore. Right. Because no one attended to the mental needs that you had based on, you know what I mean, what's going on. Or the dietary reasons.
But a good person, a good coach would know that and take it personal. It's like, there's some people where I'm more involved than others. There's some people I work out with and train that they come for the structure. Okay. There's some people I train where it's, I'm going to work out with you while we're running, so we're still exercising. I'm still training you, but you're going to tell me what's going on. But in that process, you don't even realize that I'm trying to build your cardiovascular because you shouldn't be, if you're running and you hold the conversation, that means you, at some point, all right, you ran that in 10 minutes, we had a full conversation, I want you to run it in 8 because you're fully capable of it. Yeah. So, like I said, a good coach would be able to understand your people. You should know, all right, you're trying to lose 300 pounds. I'm going to let you receive some tips of what I've did, or I'm going to put you in a position to talk to somebody I know and trust that could do this. So to everybody else, yeah, I'm well-versed in all areas, but to myself, I'm like, yo, I got to learn more. Or I've come across clients like, oh, I have a thyroid condition, or I've, I had a pregnancy, and I'm like, yo, I don't carry babies. I don't know what it's like to be inside of a woman's body, but I'm going to take it personal to go learn and how to properly advise. Or I'm going to ask somebody who's been in it, like, hey, what would you suggest? So I could then internalize it, do my research, and then give it back.
And that's the most important about business. When shout out to Ty Billy again, but when you start your business, you don't know everything. Right. But you just do it. And when you just do it, you adapt.
I'm a big advocate for learning as you go.
Mm-hmm. So only way to do it. I think in Atomic Habits, and I actually read this in another book also, they had 2 control groups, right? And one of the groups, they said, I want you to make 100 pots. And the other group, I just want you to make the perfect pot. It was
photography. The photography in Atomic Habits.
So I want you to take 100 photographs, and you take the perfect photograph.
And they give the students an option.
Yeah. And everybody that chose the 100, they had way better photographs. Am I saying that correctly?
No, it was the opposite. So the study was you had a classroom. Mm-hmm. You had an option. You either did, in the semester, 100 pictures, and it had to be pretty good. Or you did 10 pictures. No, it was 1 picture, but it had to be your best work.
Yeah, your best work. Perfect.
Right. So,
and everyone was basically focused, okay, get the best picture. And that's what a lot of people do in life. Okay, how can I be perfect? I'm not going to start the podcast until I know exactly how to do it. Right. I'm not going to start training until I know exactly how to do it. And it came out that the control group who was taking the 100 pictures had way better work because they practice repetition. They learned on the fly.
Right.
So...
And I'm pretty sure your first IG video,
my first video,
looks horrible compared to what you do right now.
2012, I'm like, whoa.
Exactly.
But I look at like, whoa. Right. I look back, I'm like, all right, cool. Like I've grown. I look at sessions I done with people. So I've been training for a long time. I didn't start officially just taking on people and making it something. I've always wanted to have a gym. I always wanted to do this, but it wasn't until I started coaching football. I said, all right, it's time to pursue it fully. But I look back at some of those sessions. I was like, all right, we're going to do this. I'm like, that doesn't fit that person's workout structure or their body type. And I had to learn that. But I wouldn't have known if I just, all right, I'm a trainer. I took the test and great, boom, I'm done.
Exactly.
So it's like, you have to kind of
adapt as you go.
Shout out to Kid Class. He's great at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like adjusting workouts. I remember sometimes me and Mal used to work with him and my back would just be killing me. Right. And I'll just say it. He'll internalize it. Okay, we're going to do this now. It's like, whoa.
And that's another thing, too. Some people have plans, and it's not cookie. I crafted this plan for you. Mm-hmm. Other people, we have tentative plans. Yes. So on Mondays we hit this part, on Tuesdays we hit this part, Friday we hit this part, or to some degree of that level. And you may come in, we're doing legs, and something's bothering you. All right, we're gonna change your range of motion. We're not gonna do heavy squats. We're gonna do front squats, low weight, high intensity. Oh, I feel great now. You know what I'm saying? So we still hit legs, but it wasn't that. Coming in, you're hitting the back squat again, you're hitting the leg press again. So I try not to make people too comfortable. That's another form of me making you uncomfortable and embracing it. Because if you know, all right, I'm coming to stacks on Tuesday, we're hitting legs, I'm going to hit back squat again for 3 sets of 10. You're going to be comfortable, and then there's no point in you coming to me because it's at that point, it's repetition. So I try to keep it real authentic. Yeah. And sometimes you walk in, like, what are we doing today? I'm writing it down right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you, I'm seeing how you feel, I'm thinking, all right, and I'll have a really good memory. That. Like, all right, last week you hit 225 for 6. I think we could bump this up. I'm going to add this in today. And that's how I train myself,
And that's good to shock the people when they come in and you go, what we doing today? I'm writing it down right now. Because now you're building that relationship. All right, let's talk and see how you feeling. Mm-hmm. Now, that's pretty creative. So I'll say as all the trainers out there that's going to listen to this, that's definitely a tip you should definitely take as, vibe with your client.
Plans,
but vibe with your client.
Right, you want to know your person.
That's key. I like that.
Like, you like certain foods that I may not like. And if you said, Stacks, eat this every day, or if you hungry and I come to your house and you give me the same thing or something I don't like, I'm not going to do it.
Exactly.
But if I come in, you're like, Stack, what are you feeling today? I don't know. I'm feeling Chinese. Let's go to this spot. I've never been here before. Now I'm interested. Like, yo, I'm going to hang out with you again.
Exactly.
You know? So, yeah, keep that.
Can I put you on the spot real quick?
Maybe.
Can you name me the top 5 trainers in New York City? Not including yourself, because we know you're number 1.
You know, I like the guys who are up and coming.
Okay. So, yeah, the up and coming guys. That's what I mean.
So Kid Class. So me and Kid Class, I don't know how we even, Ethan, I don't even know how we connected.
Have you met him before?
No.
So today will be your first day.
Today will be the first day.
Probably like a year ago, honestly, because through social media.
Yeah.
But I watch his page a lot. I think he has great stuff. Another person upcoming, Nell's Training. I don't know if you know him, Darnell McCray. Who else? Built by Zay, right? You guys play with him. I think you put me on to Zay.
Yeah.
I think he's great. My boy Deshaun Tucker, D Tucker. He's great.
He's in that field? Training people?
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen it. I
might have blew him up a little bit.
But
it's not a secret neither, but it's just not out there yet. But he's, you know, being somebody I played with, spent time with, you know, mentored, big brother type deal. I like what he's doing. That's 4, right?
Yeah, that's 4.
And I'm at the top, so that's 1. That's
okay. So out of the 4, let's take you out of it. Who's number 1 out of those 4?
I don't know.
Come on, give us a number, brother. Just give us somebody.
Mickey Mouse Show.
Respect.
Come on, son. You know the vibe.
Y'all gonna see how we get down with Coach Stacks. Come on.
This is a smart dude right here.
We global.
So you're 27, and you have a daughter, right? How old is your daughter right now?
She's 5 months, 5.5. Let's see, 5.5 months now.
So this is a little kid. This is all very new to you.
Yeah.
And I could tell, like, when me and Malcolm used to come to Long Island and work out with you, you were working out going hard, but on top of your mind was your daughter. Hey, I got to leave here at a certain point in time. Right. I got to go home and meet my daughter.
Right.
How has that changed your life?
It actually propelled me a little bit more. It propelled me a lot more because in the beginning I was just like, all right, I want to do this, and I have X amount of years to do it. That's my goal. When we found out we were expecting, it's like a switch, and I can't explain it. It's just like I literally woke up that next day, and my energy was just different. Like, all right, now if I don't do the things I set out to do, somebody's gonna be failing.
She's not gonna eat
down. She's not gonna have a roof over her head. You know what I'm saying? So when I wake up, it's like, all right. First of all, my alarm goes, don't be good, be great. Like 15 minutes later, then last one after that is like, don't wake your daughter up. She needs to get her rest. You got to get up. You got to do what you got to do. If you're still sleeping, that's a problem. But she's probably my biggest motivator, you know, outside of wifey and family and my boy. But she's number 1 right now because I want to make her proud. So I wake up, I'm like, all right, I got to do this. And when I come home, I know she's waiting for me. Like, believe it or not, like my wife would tell me, she's like, when I bring her in the room 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, she stares at you for like 10 minutes before she goes to sleep.
For real?
When I'm home, like this morning, I'm getting ready. I close the door. I'm in the bathroom getting ready. She's looking at the door waiting for me to come in. So it's like, all right, she's always that locked in on me. I don't want to see, because at the end of the day, I posted this, I want to say maybe a few weeks ago, the man that she's going to marry one day, and it's going to happen, it's inevitable. I'm not going to be on this. I'm not going to never get married.
You got to wait till you're 35.
Right, at some point.
To have your first boyfriend.
Right. At some point, she's going to have a person.
Right.
And she's going to model him after me.
Yeah.
We always, I don't know if your parents have ever said it, you always marry somebody like your parent.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
So she's going to look for a dude who's motivated, a dude who's successful, a dude who's into his personal health, a dude who looks after his family, a dude who will do anything to make sure that he protects his and does right by them. So I make sure that I do that so that when she's growing up, she doesn't entertain clowns. So when she says that, I think I like so-and-so, I think we're dating. I'm like, all right, well, if she's interested in this person, he has to be somewhat in my type of timeline and like my type of wavelength and working towards certain goals. I know that she's not going to be some dude like, I work at McDonald's, man.
Yeah.
But he has to find his Jordans on. She's going to be like, all right, this dude, he carries himself well, but he wants to do this. He wants to do this, and he's doing this. I'm like, all right, whoa. I can help this young brother out.
So does that motivate you to treat your wife better? Because you know that's what she's going to model it. Okay, this is how daddy talks to mom. This is how I should be spoken to.
Absolutely. That's even another area she's helped me grow. I'm not saying that we have a bad relationship. We've always had a great relationship. But even just like little things like I don't like yelling in front of her.
Absolutely.
I don't want to have an argument. Even if it's like over like, oh, you buying dinner tonight, I thought you were buying dinner. I don't like to have those arguments in front of her. And I know it's inevitable. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. But I want her to be like, all right, this is how it should be conducted. If we do have an argument, it's all right, we're going to go to another room. Or can you go to your room? We got to handle something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be more like, I want her just to really understand, like, how she should be and live her life.
Right. For me, it's kind of crazy because I don't have a daughter. My only responsibility in life is myself. Right? Now when you wake up and you see this little girl, it's like, yo, you have to, everything is for her.
Right.
You know what I mean? How is it having that responsibility on your hands?
I love it.
You love it?
Pressure makes diamonds. I'm a big believer in that. So like I was saying before, it's forced me to do more, right? So in the beginning, it was just like, oh, I'm training and I'm building clients, I'm building my brand, but it's forced me, since she's been alive, I've got a website up, I've pushed more merch, I've put out more content, I've been able to maximize time and be more, believe it or not, when you have a kid, bro, you have time, like your window for doing things is short. And I understand when some people say, I had kids and that's why I didn't do this. And I don't want to be that guy neither. So
I feel like that's an excuse most of the time.
It could be, but for some people I can also see how it could be realistic. But for me, it's like, all right, I know when I'm with her, I'm not going to get X, Y, Z done until later. So if I wake up now, I could get this done, set myself up to do this later, and I have the day spent with her.
So it's made you a more regimented person.
Yeah.
Like kind of have to,
It's a little more structured.
Yeah, work with a schedule more kind of thing. When you first found out that your girlfriend was pregnant, what was it? Your wifey. Wait, were you guys married prior to her getting pregnant?
No, we've been together, this would be 10 years. But so we started dating fall 2011. This is 2020, so 9 years. We've already knew at the direction we were going. It was just a matter of when. So when we found out, it was just like, all right, hey, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So I did the whole proposal. We did that. That was great. So when she was born, I wanted on her birth certificate to have both our last names on there.
Okay.
Like stacker, not her last name, my last name. I wanted to be, we were united, and this is how we're moving forward.
And what's your daughter's name?
My daughter?
Yeah.
Loren Gray
Stacker.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yo, what's going on over there?
We good?
It was like rain falling in here?
It's a brief intermission.
Yeah, brief intermission. Are we good though?
All right.
But yeah, all right. So you're a smart guy, man. You know how to utilize social media. I would say, obviously, you've been in the game for a while. I don't know if you guys touch up on this, but I'm going through your IG. You have a video that hit over 2 million views.
Yeah.
So I want to say congrats on that. Reels, I would say IG Reels.
Yeah.
Over 2 million views.
Got the Oprah, man.
Yes.
Wait, Oprah posted?
Yeah, on the Oprah magazine Instagram, she reposted it.
You lying? That's why.
Hand on the Bible.
That's crazy.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
A couple celebrities saw it and reposted it. And I don't even know. I just posted I just like doing things with my daughter. I'm like, yo, look, I'm doing this for my daughter. I don't know what you're doing. You have kids. You can do this too.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of celebrities started seeing it. I was like, wait a second. Dudes that hit me like, yo, you seen this? Like, I don't know who that is.
Who else reposted it?
India Love. She posted it twice actually. 2 times.
India Love better behave. She better behave. This is a married man right here.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Sure.
But ever since then, do you say you utilize your daughter when you work out for the views, or to build, magic? Or you use it to just build a relationship for her so she can see this as
it's just really authentic. At first when my daughter was born, I had posted a picture and I was like, I'm not going to drown you guys with pictures of my daughter. I don't want to be that parent or that person who's like, oh, this guy's posting this kid again. But a little bit of a background story why I post me working on my daughter so much is because I'm super into my health and into my fitness. And a lot of things people would say is, oh, when you have a kid, that's out the window. Yo, you about to get that dad bod. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So what I like to do is just show the message like, yo, look, I have my child. She works out with me. And I incorporate her into my workout. She's 15 pounds. That's the whole kettlebell or a dumbbell, whatever you want it to be. So for me, it's just like, yo, I'm just showing ways that you could still get yours. Whether you don't have to necessarily use weights to work out all the time like we were talking about before. My daughter's involved and she loves it. Yeah, at first I was like, I don't think she's gonna like this, but she laughs every time whether I do a shoulder press or a burpee or a swing. She just loves it. So that's why I post with her a lot. It's really to motivate the fathers. Not nothing against the mothers. The mothers, they already do a great job in that area.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But fathers, I feel like sometimes drop the ball. Oh, I have a kid. No, I can't do that. I gotta work. Yeah, you gotta do that, but you could do more. You can always do more.
And they could look at your page and use that as motivation.
Right. So I don't use her to build my numbers up. She has her own Instagram, and I would love for her to have her own clout. I don't want her to be like, oh, you're Stax's daughter. You know what I'm saying? I want her to be like, oh, that's Loren. Like when she's obviously of age, I don't want her to be always tagged by me. You know what I'm saying? But she's 5 months. She doesn't know how to use it.
Facts. Who created that? You or the wifey?
I created, but it was a mutual conversation.
What's the idea behind that?
Honestly, like, people started saying your daughter's beautiful. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Like, I appreciate it. Like, you always say, for the most part, babies are beautiful. And then, like, a lot of people start saying, no, your daughter's really beautiful. Your daughter's really beautiful. I'm like, all right, well, if she could model from it, that'd be great. And not for clout, but if she could model, say, do a Gerber commercial or a Huggies commercial, and she gets a payout for that, that'll go in her account. When she's 18 years old, she could touch that money. Okay. So it's kind of like just another way of creating her own income. Because I didn't have that when I was a baby. I thought I was a cute baby. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? My wife thought she was a cute baby, but nobody, and we didn't have the social media and technology we have now. All right. It may take off. It may not take off. My daughter may one day want to do something entrepreneurial. She'll have a platform already. She'll have money in her own account for just being who she is. Yes. Obviously, I'm going to help her have her accounts and put money in it and, make sure I'm investing in her and open credit lines for her. But at the end of the day, I can say, hey, look, we put you in modeling at, XY month, XY year. You have XY thousand in this account. That's just for you.
And that's being as a smart parent, bro. And like everything goes back to Todd Billy. He does the same thing, but he does it in a different field of like obtaining money and giving it to his son. And his son already is up like $40,000. Right. And he's like, I believe, like 5 months old. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Like he get money like that.
What does he do with his son?
What does he do with his son? Yeah, no, he doesn't do anything with his son. Like he obtains money from his business and already gives money to his son. But he has the same mindset as like, and I'm saying this so people could realize, like, we live in a different world than we did 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And there was a tweet was saying this gentleman went out to eat with his mother, and he said, yo, he showed his mom, like, I just made $1,000. I just made $400 the next hour. Right. She goes, you making money just like that? Right. And I quoted it, and I go, this ain't the 80s no more. Right. So people should not hate you for doing that at all. Right. They should respect it because this is the world we live in. Right. You understand? Like, we should be producing businesses for our child for them to obtain their own money. Right. Because what it'll look like when they get 18, there's no money there. Right. No disrespect. And I'm not blaming any parents, but what I'm saying is for the new upcoming parents, this is the world we're living in. Yes. Because of social media, you can start any business you want with this thing in your pocket. And that's
kind of going back to me, my whole college journey of playing football is that I wasn't awarded. My parents didn't have thousands in the bank. They didn't say, hey, look, wherever you want to go. They said, yeah, do whatever you want to do. But I still had to come out of pocket. So when I was in JUCO, I didn't have a scholarship. I had to pay out of pocket. I mean, I got everything else for free. Like, yo, you're on our team. We're going to give you X, Y, and Z. So it's kind of like having a scholarship. But I started to pay. I started to take loans. I started to fend for myself. So being in that experience, and wifey too, she's in school, pursuing a PA.
Shout out to wifey.
Yeah. Get her degree to be a PA, excuse me. I want to make sure that from our experiences, we're both paying off our student loans and we're both in a position. So it's like, all right, now, how do we change culture for the next generation? All right, put money into her account now so that when she has her future kids and my future kids have kids, they have money already boiling and they know, all right, Dad, Grandpa passed this down. Now I'm going to pass it down to you. You know what I'm saying? So it creates that generational wealth.
Yeah. This is a question I always ask myself, how I'm going to handle it when I have kids, because you're a very driven guy. That's very apparent. And I'm sure, as you said, your parents didn't have a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that's part of the drive that you have.
My dad is 69 years old. My mom's 70. They're still working.
They're still working?
They're still working. And that bothers me.
Why does that bother you?
Because they're working because they have to, not working for leisure.
Right.
At that age, you should be able to say, all right, I'm cool. Like, I'm working because I just really enjoy what I do. Not because I got to make sure I got to keep the lights on. So I make sure that when I grind, it's for wifey, it's for my daughter, it's for my parents. At some point, I want to be able to say, hey, this is my house, and this is your extension. Or, hey, I bought you a house too.
So, so that's definitely part of what drives you. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about this, like, you want to be a millionaire one day, I'm sure, maybe even more than that. Same for me, same for Malcolm. Right. How do you have a kid? So this is more pertinent to you. How do you make sure your kid has that same drive, that same hunger, but with you providing a lavish lifestyle for her? Because she's never going to have those lessons that you were taught.
Right. So me having her, even at 5 months now, just her being around, she's going to see. At some point, she's going to be 4, 5, 6 years old. Dad, I want to help you. And everybody knows this. Daddy's girls and mother's boys.
Mama
that is
boys.
What it is.
It's a fact.
I'm a big mama boy.
I'm the last of 4, so I already know. But my dad he had entrepreneurial dreams, and I watched him. He had his business cards. Hey, I need you to do this for me. Okay. Hey, this how you do, how I speak to a client. This how you do X, Y, and Z. So her just being around, she's going to learn how to handle those situations. So she won't have my same experiences growing up in terms of like a struggle, but she'll be able to watch to see how I move to move accordingly. Just showing her. She's going to have her own storyline. She's going to have her own trials and tribulations, and I'm cool with that. But just her being around and seeing what I do and what mommy does, she's going to be like, all right, well, my dad would handle it this way, or my mom would handle it this way. I'm going to handle it accordingly. So that's the reason why I have it with me all the time. It's not just nobody else is gonna watch it, and I have to make sure I'm doing what I gotta do. It's even at this age right now, they're absorbing so much information. Like, all she knows when she gets older, she's gonna know fitness. She's gonna know, get up and grind. Like, it's not gonna be new to her.
So you're gonna make sure she gets into fitness as she becomes of age.
If she wants to, I don't want to force her.
She's gonna want to do whatever you feel like.
I'm confident in that, but also if there's a point where she's like, I want to be a dancer, I want to play piano, I'm gonna say, hey, look, this is what Daddy does with fitness. You can apply it to what you do. Wake up early and practice. Wake up and do your routine. I don't want to force what I love on her, like, you're gonna wake up and lift weights with me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you play a sport, you got to do this now because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But I want, like I said, just keeping her around. She's gonna want to do it naturally. Like, a little background on me. I didn't necessarily grow up in the gym. My dad was very health conscious. My brother was a coach and played sports. My brother-in-law played sports, and I always work out with him. As I got older, I realized that's what I really liked. But growing up, my parents didn't drive, so when we were walking home with groceries, my dad do some shrugs. All right. Hit some curls. All right. I'm at the playground. Can you pull yourself up? Nah. All right. I did one. Do it 3 more times. Or, do it 5 times. All right, cool. You just did pull-ups. So now I'm working out, not even knowing I'm working out, but I was just exposed to those type of different things. That's how I train too. That's why I'm so unique, because my home gym may be packed out, but I could still cook you in the front lawn.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I thought I was gonna lift weights. I don't need the weights to get you right. You know what I mean? So I want her to be exposed to a little bit of everything.
You say your dad is 70. Is he still in shape? Is he still going?
Yeah, I mean he's a little heavier now, but my dad doesn't drive.
Okay.
So he rides his bike to work. He rides his bike to the grocery store unless I'm around. I make sure he doesn't.
So he has a fit 70-year-old.
Yeah, my dad still run laps around a lot of dudes.
Word.
Yeah, my dad hits me like, let's do some push-ups. I'm like, yeah. You give me a band workout. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Do you ever try to put him through a workout just to
no, because he won't do it.
Oh, he won't do it?
He'll just be like, all right, I'm done. Like, so I just make it real, like, casual.
Okay.
Like, all right, let's go for, a bike ride. And that's good enough for him. He just wants to be, there.
I always tell Malcolm this because I worked in a hospital, and I'm like, at that age, I was a patient care technician.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to start school in January for nursing.
Okay.
I want to be a nurse. Nice. Like, that's my passion.
Yo, we need more male nurses, man.
We do. They call us nurses. I think that's what they call us.
I know a dude. He actually gave me my first car. It was a 1999 Chevy Blazer. Just gave it to me, but he was a nurse.
Word.
He's like, yo, I do this and I do this. Like, nurses make a lot of money.
And they make a lot of money, and for all the male guys out there, I might want to be a nurse. It's no other way to be surrounded by just beautiful, caring women. No other way. Like, it's easy.
They got the WAP.
Hey, Malcolm, yo, you say disrespecting nurses on here. Come on,
so
you know my mom is a nurse. These are the type of questions he asking me, son. Like, yo, what's up with this dude? But in that oldest stage of life, this is my number. I swear to God, my number one thing for fitness and why I'm going to be a lifelong fitness guy is because at the age we're at now, sure, fitness might give you the extra energy and the mood stability.
A body in motion stays in motion.
But when you're 70, it's only one way to go, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be like your dad, where you still riding your bike around, or called Accessoride or some shit like that. Seriously.
Right. So it's funny. So like my mom, she's healthy as could be, but my mom's not really like, she's not like I'm gonna go work out. Like, she'll do some stretches at home, but nothing. Like, she doesn't do anything strenuous, rather.
Right.
My dad is. My dad, he goes for walks. He goes for rides. He goes with my daughter when he's watching her during the day. My mom's like, I'm gonna stay inside, but my dad is relatively, I would say, healthier because he stays more active. My mom's just as healthy because she's not exposed to much, but you could tell like the difference in like energy levels. My dad could be up all day. My mom's like, I need to take a nap. You get tired doing nothing all day.
No,
that's a fact. Shout out to Pops.
Shout out to Pops. Listen, bro, my mom, she works. She's a workaholic. My mom will work from 5 in the morning to 10 at night.
Yeah.
But when it's her day off, she's gonna wake up at 8, eat something, watch TV for 30 minutes, and go sleep for the rest of the day.
There's a level where you have that level of rest, and I'm learning that now. As I wake up earlier, I go to sleep a little bit later. So like when we were working out in the morning, like 5 o'clock, I would go to sleep like 12, 1 o'clock, whatever, and that was it. But now with everything, everything else I'm doing, I'm like, all right, the latest I should be in bed is 11. So I need at least enough energy to do everything else I'm doing. Otherwise, you become counterproductive.
That's one of my major structural things that I'm trying to change. And I don't have a.
And shout out to 50. 50 told me that one.
To get some rest.
Yeah. That's one of my major habits I'm trying to form. Go to sleep at a specific time, and I never bring my phone into my bed anymore.
Okay.
Because that, for me, the phone addiction is so bad, bro.
So one thing I got from the book Atomic Habits is the change. So when I'm studying for my classwork or whatever, I have a habit to start scrolling. Like, because I'm not as fully interested, I start scrolling. I'm like, oh, man.
It's disgusting.
I don't want to buy. So now what I do, I turn my phone off. I leave it in another classroom. Yes. I try to limit that. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I got 2-3 chapters in. Who would have thought?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I do bring my phone in at night. That's my alarm.
Yeah.
But
I bring it in my room. I just don't put it on my bed. Because if I'm on my bed with it, come on, remember scroll. And then an hour goes by, you don't realize. That's the time you would have been sleeping. Yeah. And it's because you were sleep. You should be sleeping. Right. You don't look at it as lost time. It's like, I'm just chilling in my bed.
And you don't get the time. One thing Giovanni Ruffin said, as another trainer I look up to, time is not refundable.
Not at all.
So now when I'm studying, I'm like, all right, I got to get this degree. I got to get this XYZ done for my training. I'm like, yo, I just scroll for 10 minutes. That's great for your views. But now I don't get that back.
So look, I studied this thing called stoicism, and the way they put it is that you will never see any one of us go outside and just start handing people money.
Right.
Like, hey, have 10, you have 20, you have 30.
Right.
We all could agree that time is more valuable than money.
Absolutely.
10 times.
Guess what?
Absolutely.
We go on this and we give people our time all the time.
All the time, bro. Yo, I'll give you 10.
You take 5. You take 100.
At the end of the day, you having a podcast, me being a trainer, we need that.
That's a fact.
But at the same
it's a
time,
sick game.
But at the same time, though, you guys are educated men. You know that to some degree, you need it too. It's also a way to decompress. So it's another way to sharpen your soul, right? So you're looking at other podcasts, say, all right, how can I get better?
Yeah.
So it's purpose in every way. It's just, you got to know how to manage it.
I'll be honest.
Most important thing right there.
Ever since we started doing the podcast, I stopped listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
Because it's for multiple reasons. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to have these people in my head and copy them.
Right.
But also, I'm just I hate this phone, bro. I get disgusted with myself. Right. And I'm watching The Social Dilemma.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that?
I've seen it on TV, like the ad for it. I haven't watched it yet.
It's you guys should watch it. It's crazy. It's a bunch of people who worked at Apple, Google that were part of the process of creating all these apps, and they left for, you know what I mean, like for what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't believe what was happening was right because they literally wired this shit to tap into our most caveman instincts.
Right.
We're being manipulated by this phone.
Right.
Right. The tag thing, like if we tag you in a post right now, you get a notification. That was specifically engineered to get you on that phone, even when you didn't want to be on it.
Right.
All these notifications is literally engineered, and we all do it. So it's hard. Like if someone is doing crack, you see, okay, that person is doing crack. Yeah, he's fucked up.
But they glorify it. Yo, you got 100 mentions today. Keep it up.
Yes.
Keep it up. You got 85 likes. Like I know, like I have a video that has 2.2 million views and over 1,000 something likes, and I post something of me working out in the morning. It's like 100 likes. Yeah. Granted, it's an algorithm, but it's like they want to get you. But now I should be like, well, I had 2 million. Let me do this again.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna do this again. Now instead of doing everything else I should be doing, I'm trying to get views, and I'm like, yo, if I get 100 views, whatever, I'm still gonna stay with what I do, and eventually somebody's gonna notice it, and everything will speak for itself.
But that's crazy. That's a power just to stay disconnected from the internet. You know, we have to have that willpower to.
It's crazy.
We gotta shut ourselves off to.
Yeah.
It's crazy willpower. I don't think I have the power, that amount of power right now.
No, what I had to do, I legit unfollowed a lot of people, and it was nothing personal. I had people like, yo, why'd you unfollow me? You don't mess with me anymore. I'm like, yo, I had nothing to do with that. But I need to start shaping what I see. So if I'm going to spend time on this thing, I need to see something that's going to motivate me. All right, is it something about financial literacy, something fitness related, something, you know, that's going to really, all right, I like that. How can I apply it to myself? Or is it, hey, happy 4th with me and Shorty?
Yeah.
We could be best friends. But I don't need to see that because at the end of the day, that's just me tapping you and feeding into your addiction in terms of, you know, that acknowledgement. So I literally unfollow a lot of people. And it's not, like I said, it's not nothing to do with gaining views or gaining likes. It's just say, hey, if you're not helping me get to my end goal, you could call me. You can text me. You can FaceTime. You can send me an email.
Yeah.
You don't need to hit me on social media.
It's a whole different world here. If you got my number, this is a whole different world here.
Right.
And also, it's good for the business aspect of it, of the let's say the follow account. But it's not good just to be looking at something that's not going to add value to you at all.
You have a daughter. Does she watch TV on like iPads and stuff like that yet?
No.
She's not really into the phone?
No, like we'll like in the beginning we'd watch like Sesame Street and Baby Einstein a little bit in the morning. Like when we first started going back, like when quarantine kind of ended, it's like, all right, you're going back to work. I'm doing this, that, and third. We need like just a quick 20-minute window to entertain her. Yeah. But we don't stick her in front of a TV. Like when she's with me, I think I watched YouTube with her twice. But I don't. We don't want that to be like an addiction.
My advice to you would be: do not. You know what I mean? Your daughter is crying. She's a year old. Stick her phone or iPad in front of her. Yeah. A lot of fucking parents do that. Yeah. And you can see it's like, yo, that kid is addicted to that phone
already.
He is not happy if he doesn't have that phone.
He don't even have his own phone and he's addicted.
Right. Yes.
And I know one thing I noticed. So like, if a light goes off, I get a text message. She'll reach for it because of the light, not because if it's a phone. She doesn't know what it is. She's only 5 months. She doesn't know anything is really, but she'll like tap at it and we take it away and put it away. But and then she has no need for it. Mm-hmm. When a camera's on her, she smiles. She knows what camera is. Mm-hmm. But other than that, we don't want to keep her. No. Like I read to her. Mom will read to her. Go on walks. I've been going everywhere. Mm-hmm. I want her to feel, sense, like, build her senses and just build her awareness. Yes. You could come over right now, put my daughter in her hand. She's not gonna cry. Because she's been around so many people. She's seen trees, she's seen lights, she's heard sounds. So she'll be like, oh, it's another person. Unless she needs something like, oh, she's gassy or hungry, she'll cry. Mm-hmm. But for most time, people, we have family friends come over all the time and haven't met her yet. And she's like, hey, what's up? Like but that's because a lot of people just give you this here.
Yeah. I don't want to deal with you.
So they don't know what it's like to have person interaction. She knows how to hang out with somebody. She knows how to, all right, cool. I'm another person. This is let me feel your face. Mm-hmm. Let me look at you a little bit. Let me sniff you. Mm-hmm. All right, you're cool. You hanging out with dad. You hanging out with mom. All right. She falls asleep on all my friends that coming over. She's taking a nap on them.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's, like I said, that's that whole just keeping you exposure.
And you have a daughter also, so putting that in her, like, yo, social media and the phone is everything. And I hope that you keep that up as she grows up, because young women are naturally insecure. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? The way they look, how people perceive them, more than boys, I would say. And we've all went to high school. I'm sure we all have had bad days in high school. Yeah. When you came home, you went home. You were around the people that you loved. Yeah. And you kind of forgot about it, right? You got into an argument with your friend. You got into a fight, whatever. Mm. These kids these days don't have that. No. They get home and school is still right here. Right. And honestly,
school is right here now.
And literally, and honestly, social media is probably more important than what goes on inside the school itself. Yeah. So you think about a little girl getting bullied.
Think you're like this, right? When we go to school, what's the whole purpose of going to school? Because pandemic has shown us that we could be taught from anywhere, really. Yep. And one thing I think I struggle with finishing my master's is because I know I can learn so much more without that structure. Mm-hmm. Like I could learn, like you guys learned a lot on your podcast and how to speak and how to do X, Y, and Z on your own. Yeah. You didn't have to go to school for it. There's so many millionaires that didn't go to school and they're making 10 times more money than the guy who has a doctorate. Mm-hmm. But me having her on social media and me doing so many things with her, I want her to just be confident, like build her confidence. Yes. Like even every day, like, yo, you're so beautiful. Yes. Yo, you are amazing.
That's daddy's job.
You know what I'm saying? Like I give her that reassurance every day, and I'm gonna keep doing it and keep doing it until she says, "Dad, I got it."
I understand. I'm good.
But what I was trying to say is, when you go to school, right? I don't know if you had classes where you're like, "Yo, I'm in social studies, I'm in English," and you didn't learn nothing. But you could look back, and you don't remember how to do the equation. You don't remember what happened in the First World War and the Cold War and who won and yada, 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 yada. But you remember walking down the hall with your best friend. Mm-hmm. You remember that party. Mm. You learn more from your society and your social structures than you do from the actual textbook. Absolutely. Unless you're interested in that particular subject. Like I like social studies, so I used to pay attention in that. But the class that didn't interest me, I did enough just to pass and do what I had to do as a requirement. Mm. But I learned more from walking the halls and hanging around with certain people and those altercations and those issues and that drama when you tell your big brother and your mom or whatever, and they're like, oh, that's stupid, like but it makes you who you are. You know what I'm saying? So there's an aspect of it now that they need it in terms of that, but I think you can do without it at the same time. You know,
where do you fall in politics? You a political guy at all?
Not really.
Really?
Not really.
Why is that?
For me, and this is kind of like a I don't know how to describe it. Like for me, I feel like my voice is not really important, and I know it is. Mm-hmm. And I know if I said something or I sparked a conversation, it would probably catch on fire for positive reasons. But for me, I'm just so focused on things I need to do that whoever's in the presidency is probably not going to affect me at the level I'm at right now. Mm-hmm. When I get to a point of I'm making millions and I'm doing this project, then I'll probably be like, all right, hold up, what's going on here? I follow it in terms of what's going on and certain things, but realistically, I know right now at the bottom level,
it doesn't affect you.
It doesn't affect me. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
I look at it more so in, all right, as a business person, who's going to help me? Like everybody, hates on Trump, and I don't think he's a great person. but I think he's helped a lot of small businesses in this pandemic. A lot of people put in, like I was listening to Earning Leisure, like if you have a small time business, apply for this loan, you're gonna get X, Y amount. If you have a small business, do this, that, and the third. Right now, you could get this funds available and not have to pay it back or whatever, what it is. I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, some presidents are pro business, some are kind of like even kill. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not heavy. No,
1,000%. That's why a lot of people love Trump.
That's kind of how I kind of gauge my level.
That's a great way to put it. You shouldn't be voting unless you see like, okay, it's something that's going to affect me now.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, America is going to be America.
Right.
100%.
And the other thing is, right, so my buddy I was talking about in the beginning, who works for, he's an investment banker. And like I said, this is 2011. We just graduated high school. We're working at like a rinky-dink job off the books. And we're talking. And this is the time where President Obama's going for a second-term election.
Okay.
And he's like, yo, who you voting for? I was like, I'm Obama all the way, bro. Like, supporting the brother. You know what I'm saying? He goes, that's cool, but was like he, and this is the conversation that literally changed my mind on politics. And another reason why I don't really get involved in it, because I look at it from two different angles.
Yeah.
I look at it in terms of, all right, in terms of what you do for society and it's like everyday life, I think you stink. But in business or this area, I like you. So I'm pretty much in the middle.
That's a fact.
But the conversation we had, it was like this. He goes, you are a Democrat, right? I'm like, yeah, all the way through and through. Think it's great. They give you all this opportunity to help you out. I'm like, yo, they pay for college. They give you food stamps if you need. They give you housing. They give you all these things. But if you ever realize, they keep you at a cap. We'll give you all these things. We'll give you food, housing. We'll give you food stamps. We'll give you X, Y, Z. But you can only make 40 grand. So you're like, all right, well, I'm getting all this for free. That's not that bad. But on the flip side, you'll say, a Republican would say, you can make all the money in the world, and we're going to give you opportunity for tax breaks.
Yeah.
But if I make all the money in the world with a Democrat president, it's going to say, hold on. How much you make? I'm going to tax you more now because everybody has to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But a Republican says, you busted your ass, so you deserve to get it. You know what I'm saying?
And
so, as a businessman, I'm like, I kind of like that value. Like, I want to pursue that.
Yes.
But as like, as a civil rights person, I'm like, I kind of like this side a little bit better. So after that conversation, he's like, you're you're in the middle for sure.
Yeah.
But you favor Republicans in terms of, financial literacy.
I think like everybody is in the middle. And just to bring it back
That's
to social
fact.
media really quickly, the reason why social media is so dangerous is because there are these small subset of people that are far right, far left, and they control the argument. Yeah. Because the people like me, yourself, and Malcolm who are in the middle, we don't really have anything to say.
Right.
Because we're in the middle.
Right.
But the guy on the left and the right, they're screaming loud as fuck. Now you're forced to say, I think I'm going to go over here. I think I'm going to go over here because it's natural human instinct. We got to follow somebody.
The majority of us are really in the middle, and
we
kind of just favor a little bit more side the other, but it's still that middle. But like you said, the far right and far left really have the stronger voice, and that's when he's like, all right, well, I favor a little towards this side. I'm going to go all the other side. And it's like, yo, just stay in your lane,
Stay in your lane.
Somebody, I don't remember her name. There was like a big debate or like conversation. It was like T.I., what's his name? Big
Mike.
Big Mike. Killer Mike.
And
it was Candace, the black conservative lady.
So everybody's been giving her a lot of shade, like, yo, you're not black. You should be for the Democrat. And she's like, yo, if you really look at what the Democrats are doing, and don't quote me verbatim, I hadn't did my own research on it, but it's like, if you look at it, they're doing this to you. Why would you not want to vote this way?
Yeah. And
people just give her shit on it because it's just like, yo, she's like, the whole thing going on. She's like, you guys are not catching it. They're playing mind games with you. So that conversation I had with my friend, it was kind of like, oh, whoa, wait a second, you're right. I'm not even looking at the financial, like the other aspects of it.
That's what it is. It comes down to financial aspects, and then like talking about the taxes, you gotta understand. People would complain like, oh, you need to tax this person more.
Right.
This person needs to give out more money. He needs to get taxed more. But it's like, 100%. Why would someone feel like they need to give out their hard work riches to someone that doesn't have the right mindset?
Right.
And that's and I that opened up to me is like, yo, you really deal with people whose mindset are just somewhere else where it's like, it's fucking ridiculous. You can't even tap into a level with them because their mindset is give me.
So look, right, and when I look at it like that, you're 1,000% right. And just to play devil's advocate, I feel like from the time human beings were invented to now, you've had tall and short people. You've had skinny and fat people. You've had motivated and people who don't give a fuck about life.
That's a fact.
And I think that's the argument. Okay, I don't know what it is, why these motherfuckers don't want to get their life together.
Right.
But just to be civil.
Why should you have to pay for it?
There's no valid argument than to say just to be nice.
And don't get me wrong though, right? So a Republican would be like, yo, I'm going to make $2.4 trillion and I'm getting all these tax breaks. But the good ones, and there's some that are just in it for themselves, they will donate to charities. They will have non-for-profits. They will give back to communities. It may not be the community you want, but they are doing what they feel is comfortable, right? But on the other side, it's like, we're going to cap you at $100,000 just so everybody eats. But now it's like, well, that guy's not even trying that hard. For me, like, I'm trying to have a gym. I'm going to be a teacher. I want to be successful, and I want to give back to my community. So if I'm capped, are you helping my community the way I envisioned it? No. But if I make $2.4 trillion, I can say, hey, I'm opening this up, opening this park, I'm doing this, that, and the third.
Let's look at it this way. If we all love America, because America is probably the safest country, most opportunities. Because Mexico is poor as shit. It's filled with crime, but you have people just as rich as Jeff Bezos. Why is it like that? Because there are a lot of people on the bottom, and they resort to crime. So maybe this family that doesn't give a shit about life, and they're getting welfare. Okay, you can either pay taxes, give them welfare, or these motherfuckers are going to become serious criminals. You know what I mean? On a large scale.
And like I said, to some degree, both sides have valid points. Both sides have valid points. And like I said, on some sides, I'm like, yeah, do that. I respect it. On other sides, I'm like, I don't really like that. So to some degree, it's right. But what we could do in the middle, as middle people, is keeping the best example possible. Like, you don't know who's watching the podcast right now, and I don't know who's watching my fitness workout videos. But I've been told by many people of both sides of the spectrum, of Republican, Democrat, whatever, like, yo, I love what you're doing. You motivate me to get up and be better and do something better, something positive. So ultimately, me voting doesn't really make a difference, but I know every day I wake up and do something, someone's like, yo, I want to be better now. And that's how you start changing.
So maybe the goal is to make the middle voice louder. Yeah. Ooh, because those are the most quietest.
So fuck the two parties.
Fuck the two parties.
Sorry for my language.
Nah, fuck it though.
Yeah,
but
that's a fact.
Stacks, thanks for coming through, man.
It's a pleasure, man.
This was a great interview.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, and I think you're naturally doing this shit. So
yeah, none of this is authentic. You know, this is all authentic. You know,
that's 100.
Just regular conversation. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Stacks.
Yes, sir.
Nope.
Pleasure.
Split out.
Yep. Ever told on a nigga? Nope. Ever squeezed the trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? Nope. Ever helped a brother out when he was down on